Welcome to Author Toolset Tuesday with a really great quote from Johanna Godinez. She said, "You're either moving forward or you're moving sideways. You can't do both." Certainly not at the same time. So, hi there, my name is Christopher D'Armani, and I empower nonfiction authors, perhaps a nonfiction author just like you, so you can turn your dream of writing a book into your published reality. And one of the ways I help you do that is to help hold you accountable for doing the things you said you were going to do when you said you were going to do them, so that you're always making forward progress so you can achieve that dream of getting that book of yours out into the world. Because it's only then that you can make the impact you know you were born to make once that book is published. Until then, it's just a whole bunch of possibility. Once it's done and out into the world, oh my goodness. All kinds of really great things go on from there, don't they? So I want to talk about this a little bit today. This is the thing I want to get the slides working, and there we go. So, simple fact of life is a series of choices. Which door do I want to pick? What's behind door number 2, door number 3, whatever door you want. Will I do what I know I must do? The question, of course, is every single day. Will I do what I know I must do, so I can take my dream, take one more step closer to achieving my dream? And that can be a really scary thing. It can maybe an easy thing, maybe a challenging thing. Could be anywhere in between. But what am I doing? What am I willing to do to move myself forward? Because the alternative, of course, is to do the thing that's easy, the thing that's simple, the thing that at its very best, is just a sidestep. What is the thing that's simple and easy? Those are the things that, I don't know, I should probably get someone else doing. Because if it's simple and easy and anyone can do it, then why am I doing it? Why am I not doing the thing that's most important for me in my life today? You know, and if I'm working on a book, that's the most important thing. Everything else it doesn't meet that same threshold of importance in my life in that day, right? Johanna's metaphor, of course, highlights the fact that daily forward progress to achieving our dreams, that's the thing we all desire, right? Whether you're writing your first book, your next book, your 50th book, I always want to make forward progress. I'm working on my 51st book right now, and there are some challenges, I won't lie, but I make forward progress every single day, and that's the most important thing. So to get your book out into the world as well, again, same thing, right? And one of the really great tools that I discovered quite a long time ago now, one of the best tools I know to help keep me on track is called time blocking, which is different from task timing. Well, I'll explain the differences. Time blocking is setting aside a block of time, a half hour, an hour, 2 hours, whatever it might be, to complete one or more similar tasks. So as I've discussed before, for example, when I sit down to write the social media posts that go along with each of these videos, I set aside a simple amount of time. I have a schedule in my time tasking program that is set just for writing those things, and I give myself 15 minutes to complete them all. So 15 minutes times 7, whatever that equals. That's how long I give myself to complete all 7 of them. And most of the time, I'm able to complete it in less than that. There are the occasions where I go off on a tangent, or I want to find some crazy image or stuff, but most of the time it's pretty. Because I've trained myself to do that, it's quite simple. And you can do the same thing. It's simply a matter of building the habit. And that's what I love about habits. And time blocking is a really great habit to build. Now, the difference, of course, is time tasking. I'm not confining myself to a specific period of time. I'm simply trying to gain information. So I start the clock and I keep it running until I'm completed whatever the task is. And then I know how long it takes. Well, I know. Let me phrase it this way. I know how long it takes if I really don't push myself. I know how long it takes if I get up and go have a coffee and come back to it. I know how long it takes if I'm not completely 100% focused on it. But at least it gives me a starting point, and that's kind of the purpose. I mean, when I was building my time blocking for writing those posts, it's exactly what I did. Well, how long does it take me to do this? And I sort of had an average of around 20 to 25 minutes to complete each one. And like that's just too much time. It doesn't need to take that long. And so I built a fence around each one of those blocks. And what I found was that what you'll find as well is that your mind is up for the challenge. It's always up for the challenge. If you give yourself 15 minutes to write that thing, you'll get it done. You will get it done. It may not be on day one, but by day 7, by day 10, yeah, you'll be hitting that routinely. It's one of those great fundamental facts of building a habit. The more we do it, the easier it gets. So the challenge, of course, with task timing is there's no deadline. There's nothing to give me power. There's nothing looming over my head to say, get this finished. There's simply a search for information. And I'm not saying searching for that information is wrong. It's not. It actually serves a really great purpose. Helps you build a better way of building your time blocks, right? But because there's no pressure, there's no deadline, there's no finite period, the time can stretch on forever. It really can. It takes far longer than it should, I guess, is what it boils down to. It takes far longer than it should. And time blocking forces you to compress all of that into a shorter piece of time. And that's the beauty of it. Because, and I'll relate this to outlines. There's a group of people out in the world who believe that writing from an outline stifles your creativity, makes it impossible. They have all kinds of reasons why this is a bad thing. My personal belief, and it's shared by a fair number of folks, is that writing from an outline is the easiest and fastest way to get it done. Blocking your time to complete similar tasks is also the easiest and fastest way to get those tasks done. Because you've put a hedge around it, you put a fence around it, you've given it some structure. And it's that structure that gives you power. Because your mind wants structure, it really does. And when you give it structure, even though it feels challenging in those first few days, when you persist, because that's how all success is achieved, through persistence. When you persist every single day and build this habit of blocking off a segment of time for writing every single day or completing whatever the task might be, your brain meets the challenge. It's wired that way. It's simply wired that way. So like, for example, if I time myself to write 500 or 1,000 words, it could take forever. It really, really can. And yet, if I force myself to do that same amount of words in a finite period of time, I must complete this in this amount of time or less. Go figure, it happens. Because I've put a fence around it, I've put a limit around it, I've put a structure around what is permissible, I suppose, in my day-to-day to make this happen. So I complete it in far less time than I would if I was just left to my own devices. So my challenge for you today, my 2-minute challenge for you today, is to write 500 words. Do it in 2 different ways. First, I want you to sit down, start a timer, and start writing. Pick a topic that you like, pick a topic you don't like, I don't care, pick whatever you like and start writing about that. And see how long it takes you to get to 500 words. And then once you know what that period of time is, take 5 minutes off it. Take 10 minutes off it. And challenge yourself to complete those same 500 words in that shorter period of time. It's like Jay Sauter says, always set a shorter deadline. The shorter you can make those deadlines, the more power they give you. That's the beauty of deadlines. They give you power. And I'm a huge advocate of doing things that guarantee my success. And this is one of those tools that guarantees my success. It guarantees that I'll get the work done. And I can't guarantee this for you, but my bet is, and I would happily wager, I don't know, how about an hour of free coaching? One-on-one with me. I would be willing to make that bet with you that if you do this for 21 days, set aside some time and commit to doing it every single day, that you may not meet that deadline on the first day or the 5th day, but by the time that first week is out, my bet is you'll make it happen. And the only reason to keep going for 21 days is so you embed that habit into your world, into your mind. You make it so that this is the thing that we do. It's just simply what we do. So for example, every day at 4 o'clock, writing power hour, I sit down and I write for an hour, whether I feel like it or not. So my brain, because I've been doing this for quite some time now, my brain understands that, well, that's just what we do at 4 o'clock, so stop all the internal bitching, just get to it. Because we've got to do it anyways. You ain't going to let us get away with not doing it. So just get on with the task at hand, and it just simplifies the process. That's the beauty of building the habit. So that is my challenge for you today. And I hope you take me up on it. I would love to hear as you try. Maybe you'll do this today. I would love for you to do it today. Drop in the comments when you're done what the first time was and what the second time was. What was the amount of time that you shaved that down to and were still able to succeed? I would love to hear that. I'd love for you to share that in the comments. I really, really would. And I'd also love for you to connect with me on social media. Places like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. If you just go to sleek.bio/Christopher, you'll find links to all my social media accounts there. And there's a couple of other interesting things there you might like as well. So with that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And take Johanna's words to heart. Make sure you're moving forward, not sideways. Critically important for your success. It's critically important for the people who are counting on you. They may not know they're waiting for you, but they are. They're out there. And they're waiting for you and your book to make the impact that you were born to make in their lives. So I'll leave it at that for today. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Bye for now.